Hi, Kathy. Thank you for meeting me today for this interview. Would you mind telling me a little bit about yourself, where you're from, stuff like that?
Sure. My name is Kathy Curry. I live in Belmead, New Jersey, which is in Montgomery Township. I am married. I have three children. I have a 23-year-old son, a 22-year-old daughter, almost, and a 16-year-old son. They are the love of my life. So I love them very much. And I work at Merrill Lynch full time, working from home right now. I don't know when we're going to be going back to the office. Other than that, I just love hanging out with my family.
Nice. Would you say being a mom's a big part of your life?
I would say being a mom is the hardest job I've ever had in my life. Yes.
And now, being a mom, I would guess that you have to do a lot of chores around the house. So this interview is kind of about surrounding dishes. So can you tell me a story about one time that you did the dishes, just any circumstance that you had doing the dishes, maybe a problem you had with doing the dishes?
Sure. Well, I would say that every Thanksgiving it's an issue because, we can't fit everything in the dishwasher. So I'm always stuck doing the dishes. And my biggest problem is I can never get like a cookie sheet clean. I always have to use a Brillo pad and scrub and scrub and scrub and scrub. And it ultimately seems to me like I will never be able to get that 100% clean.
Why?
I don't know why. I that's the whole thing. I'm not sure. I
Yeah.
use a Brillo pad. I don't know if there's another product I could use that would, that would clean it better. Maybe that's a good idea. I'm not sure, but that's the only thing that I ever knew since my mother taught me how to do dishes when I was younger to use a Brillo pad. So, but it doesn't work.
Gotcha. And so what would you say is the hardest about doing the dishes on Thanksgiving?
I would say that the time that it takes, because
And why?
well, because my whole family is here and I want to spend quality time with them. But then when you have to do the dishes, it takes away that quality time. So it's just, I'd rather have a more efficient way to do it or quicker way to do it so that I can spend more time with my family before they have to go home.
Right. And then why was that hard that you couldn't spend time with your family? Just because you would love to more, the dishes were getting in the way?
Yeah, well, I mean, I only get to see them, well, my extended family, probably 3 times a year, for the most part, especially my mom, because she lives in Florida. So I like to spend that time with her at all times, when I'm during the holidays, because the dishes can take an hour, at least an hour or more on a holiday. And that's just not for Thanksgiving. It's, every holiday that I have here. So it'd be Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter.
Right.
So
Now let's say put yourself in the scenario where it's the next holiday. How would you maybe solve that problem now?
I could have somebody else do the dishes
You could.
besides me.
Yeah, maybe someone else, an outsider coming on in, a service.
Yeah, yeah. Or I could just leave them dirty till the next day, maybe. Sure, but I wouldn't want to do that.
Right. And so why is doing dishes not awesome? Would you say it's the time aspect? Does it hurt your hands ever? Do your hands get too soapy and sudsy that annoy you?
Well, I would say that it does annoy me. If I have a lot of dishes, my hands can get all pruny and stuff like that. And then also, I like the water to be super hot when I wash the dishes.
Why?
I think it gets them cleaner. I
Mhm.
think the hot water cleans them better. So sometimes I wear gloves and other times I don't, but I think that the hot water can take a toll on my hands.
Yeah, that makes sense. Um, all right. Well, that's really all the questions I have about dishes for you. Thank you for taking the time out of your day for answering those questions for me. And I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Great, thanks. It was my pleasure.
Thank you.